Summary of Ethan Frome by Edith Wharton. The narrator, an engineer who works at a power plant near Starkfield, MA, is interested in a tall, disabled man he sees at the local post office. He finds out that the man, Ethan Frome, was hurt in a sledding accident 24 years ago, but the people in the area are very guarded, so he doesn't find out much more. The narrator hired Ethan to drive him to and from work because he had to. One night, a bad winter storm forces Ethan to ask the narrator to spend the night at the Frome farm. What the narrator sees there moves him to tell the story of what happened. At the beginning of the narrator's vision, 28-year-old Ethan Frome looks through a church window at his wife's cousin, 21-year-old Maddie Silver. Maddie works at the Frome farm, where she helps Zena, Ethan's sick wife, with housework in exchange for a place to stay. Maddie dances with Dennis Eady, the cocky son of the town's rich grocer, while Ethan looks on. Ethan hears, out of jealousy, that Maddie turns down Dennis's offer to drive her home and starts the 2-mile walk back to the farm by herself. Ethan runs after her, and they keep going past a dangerous sledding hill, where Maddie's friend Ruth Varnum and Ruth's fiancé Ned Hale just narrowly avoided a major accident. Maddie and Ethan are attracted to each other, but they don't say it. They are surprised to find that the door to the farm is locked when they get there. Zena meets them at the door and says she is too mean to sleep. Ethan goes to bed worried that Zena knows how he feels about Maddie, even though she doesn't show it. The next day, Ethan puts off taking some lumber to a neighborhood builder named Andrew Hale. Zena stops at the farmhouse and tells him that she is going to Bettsbridge for the night to see a new doctor about her shooting pains. She is dressed for travel. Ethan agrees to the plan quickly when he realizes that it will give him time alone with Maddie on the farm. He tells Zena that he can't take her to the station because he has to get money from Andrew Hale. Even though Ethan knows that Hale never pays in advance, he goes to him for the money so that he doesn't get caught lying. But Hale kindly says no, and Ethan doesn't push him further. When he gets back to the farm with nothing, he finds Maddie in charge of a carefully set dinner table. The happy scene is broken, though, when Zena's favorite wedding gift, a red pickle dish, is knocked over by the cat. Maddie is scared because she knows Zena will be angry, but Ethan tells her that he will glue the pieces back together before Zena comes back. The two people go up to bed without saying they love each other or even touching. The next day, work on the farm and bad weather keep him from going to get glue to fix the pickle dish. When he gets home, Maddie tells him that Zena has already gotten there and gone straight to their room. Ethan gets himself together and goes up to meet her. When he does, he finds out that the doctor has told her she will die if she doesn't hire better help around the house. She tells him that the next day a new hired girl will come and that Maddie must leave right away. Maddie is waiting for dinner when Ethan tells her she's been fired. No longer able to hide his feelings, Ethan gives her a passionate kiss. Zena comes up to them and stops them. She joins them at dinner, even though she had said before that she was too sick to eat. Zena leaves the table to get stomach powders because she has heartburn. She comes back with the broken pickle dish. Maddie tells the truth, which only makes Zena more determined to get rid of Maddie. That night, Ethan starts writing a letter to Zena to tell her that he has chosen to run away with Maddie and go to the West. But as Ethan thinks more about the plan, he sees that he can't even get the small amount of money he needs to go west. He's also worried about Zena and what will happen to her if she can't sell the farm. He falls asleep and doesn't finish the letter. Ethan chooses to talk to Hale and lie to get the money he needs. But when he goes to Hale's house, he meets Hale's wife, who is proud of how much he cares about Zena. Ethan feels bad about his plan to lie because of her kindness, so he gives up. When he gets back to the farm, Maddie is already on her way out. He tells Zena that he will drive Maddie to the train, not the farmhand Jotham Powell. Ethan and Maddie don't drive straight to the train station. Instead, they first go to Shadow Pond, which is where they first fell in love. After that, they stop at the sliding hill, where Ethan suggests they take the ride they've been thinking about for a long time. The first ride goes smoothly, but then Maddie suggests that they go down again, but this time they should steer into a big elm tree at the bottom of the hill instead of risking getting separated. Ethan agrees, but right before they hit the tree, he has a vision of Xena's face and briefly changes direction. The crash doesn't kill either of them, but both of them are hurt for life. When the narrator follows Ethan into the country kitchen 24 years later, the Frome story starts up again. There, he meets two gray-haired women, one of whom is tall and thin and the other of whom is sitting in a chair. Maddie Silver is the disabled woman whose voice sounds just like Xena's. Xena is the tall one. The next day, the narrator talks to Mrs. Ned Hale, his landlord, about his night at the Frome farm. Mrs. Hale and the narrator talk about Ethan in a kind way. They say that he is stuck on the poor farm with two unhappy hags, where he is forced to think about how his dreams have died and blame himself for what happened.
About the author. Edith Wharton's merchant-class family was surprised and a little ashamed by her desire to be a writer. She was born Edith Newbold Jones to parents who were well known in society. The phrase "keeping up with the Joneses" comes from two of her great-aunts. Wharton married Teddy Wharton, a wealthy Bostonian, when she was 23. When she was in her 40s and living in Lenox, Massachusetts, she started writing full-time and publishing books. After writing The House of Mirth in 1905, Ethan Frome in 1911, The Reef in 1912, The Custom of the Country in 1913, Summer in 1917, and The Age of Innocence in 1920, for which she was the first woman to win a Pulitzer Prize, she became a famous writer. During the same time, however, her marriage fell apart, and in 1913, she got a divorce. Wharton wrote a lot. She wrote 22 novels and novellas, 87 short stories, 9 nonfiction books, and 2 books of poems. In 1910, Wharton went to France for good. In 1916, she was given the title of Officer of the Legion of Honor for helping refugees during the war.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.